Welcome back. Today I want to review the exercises that you're going to do before each and every adjustment, just to make sure that you're doing them correct. So the first one that I'm going to show is the rowing motion. So when you come down and come back up, I really want you to squeeze between the shoulder blades and elevate that chin up nice and high, okay? So when you come down, round the back. When you come up, squeeze between the shoulder blades, elevate the chin up. And take your time while you are doing these. I see a lot of people rushing them, which can actually cause more injury than good. So again, full motion forward, really squeeze, elevate the chin, upper thoracic and cervical spot, okay? Now this next one will be the rotation. So I want you to do what we call genie arms. So just relaxed position of your shoulders, and I want you to rotate side to side. So with these, you should feel a lot of rotation and stretch of your lumbar spinal muscles. That's what we're doing with this one, is really opening up the muscles, hydrating your discs, warming everything up before we adjust you. With this one, I want to make sure that your head goes with it. Don't keep your head forward and do this. I want your whole spine to really go through a nice, deep rotation. The next one will be a side to side, kind of like a bend downwards. So the first one, you'll come to the side and then back. So again, this one you should really feel kind of like your obliques, the side parts of your lumbar spine. Same thing, really just warming up your muscles, getting your hips moving, and getting a lot more motion and further stability throughout your lumbar spine with these. So if you ever have any questions while you're on the proprioceptive bubble cushions, please feel free to ask any of the CAs or us as docs if you're just not quite feeling right about things. We want you to spend lots of good quality time doing these. We don't want you rushing them. Really important to make sure that you're working all the way up to 50 as long as it's comfortable for you. So please don't hesitate to ask. As a reminder, if we as the doctors have made any modifications to any of your exercises, please really follow those. It's not a one size fits all. We really like to modify this to make it best for your body. With that being said, if we're having you do cervical traction, come up to the wall and find one that's going to fit your body best. We definitely don't want it too high. We really don't want it too low either. So my quick little tip to find one that fits is just make sure that this part fits nicely underneath of your chin. So this is the one I'm going to use today. You just slide it up, put this part at the base of your spine, cervical spine, slide this under your chin, and you're going to do a small little bend in your knees. So nothing too intense with the bend. We want to keep it really slight, about 10 to 20% of your body weight. Hold it for about a second. So I'll show you what that looks like now. So back under, up, and a quick little bend straight down. Really letting that traction unit open up that cervical spine, making more of that banana-shaped curve that we all really need. Again, if we have made any modifications to your traction, sometimes if you have jaw issues, or if it's just not comfortable underneath of your chin, we can do it on your forehead. So that one would look like this. You just stand back a little bit farther and then you would stretch it down. Again, if we've made any modifications, just come and ask us if you have any questions. Next, I wanted to show you some things that you guys can do outside of the office to still really enhance that long-term spinal correction. So we have a lacrosse ball here, and I'm going to show you how to use it on a couple really common areas to have tight trigger point muscle spasms. Again, if you work these out, it can actually increase the longevity of your spinal health. So I'm going to come down to the floor. And you'll take the lacrosse ball. First one we're going to do is suboccipital muscles. So especially for those of us who are looking down a lot, to the side a lot, people who aren't, that great of like sleeping positions, so like stomach sleepers, anyone who has a desk job, again, improper posture, we're gonna need to work out these suboccipital muscles. So you're gonna put it right at the base of your skull, right here. So we're gonna come down on the floor. And with trigger point work, it doesn't look super exciting. Essentially what it's doing is opening up muscle spasms. As we do this, longevity-wise, will decrease the spasms long term. And sometimes what you can do is just give it like a little roll side to side. Usually we'll have you hold these spots for like 30 seconds or so. So it's not a ton of time. You don't want to overdo it, but you need to hold it there long enough. Essentially, wherever it's most tender is going to be the most beneficial. So that you can do even if you're having an active headache or migraine, any specific neck pain, really just work out that suboccipital muscle. The next one I'll show you is the trap muscles. Same type of issues can arise here if you are sitting a lot. Computer work, even repetitive motion can really start to tighten up these trap muscles. So again, back down on the floor. We're gonna put it right in between where our spine and our shoulder are, so about halfway in between. Back down. And this one is a bigger muscle group up here. It's a big triangle all throughout our upper back. So you can find any spot, essentially, again, that's tender, specifically up at the top part of the trap muscle is gonna be the most beneficial. So same thing, you can hold it for about 30 seconds and you can kind of find other trap trigger points as well. So I'm gonna also slide it down on my lower trap muscle. And again, not very exciting to watch, but when you're doing this yourself, you'll really feel these spots loosen up on you. So again, trap muscle starts all the way up at the top, goes down into your shoulder, and it actually goes in between your shoulder blades. So it's like a big triangle all throughout here, and you can do it on any of those spots. The other spot I like to show is called your piriformis muscle. This can help decrease a lot of stiffness, tightness, immobility issues in your piriformis. If you've ever heard of sciatica, so like pain that shoots all the way down in your leg, this is like the sweet spot for that. So same thing, you're going to put it right under your bum, essentially where your pockets are, and then this one can be very, very, very tender because that sciatic nerve does travel through this muscle, but you're just gonna hold it. So again, can't really see that I'm doing a whole lot, but we're isolating. You can kind of even roll around a little bit on it, do some rotation, and same thing, just hold. So if you have any other specific areas that you want us to work out, let us know during your appointments and we can show you how to best use this lacrosse ball. Because you tuned into this video and watched it to completion, show the girls that you've completed this at your next visit, so our chiropractic assistants can give you a free lacrosse ball so you can do this at home.